Hello. Thanks so much for tuning in. This is going to be a very different video than my normal set of videos. And this is what this video is going to be about. This video is going to be about me telling you all uh, information that you're either looking for or that you want or that you need to know when it comes to the twin soul connection. And for most of you, you're wondering in this moment in time, number one, what is the twin soul connection truly? Number two, how do I know if I'm a part of it? And number three, is it real? Does it actually exist? Okay. And so the purpose of this video is to share both from a channeled perspective, since I am a channeler in the twin soul situation for all of us here on Earth, and also from a experiential perspective, okay, because I've literally experienced and I'm experiencing everything I'm going to talk about, what the twin soul connection is, the fact that it's very real, and also most importantly, how to know if you're a part of one. And so let's go ahead and get right into it. So what is the twin soul connection? And when I say twin soul, what do I mean by that? And let's go ahead and define it. And this is God's definition. This is God speaking through me to tell all of you what this connection is. The twin soul is the connection that I, God, the consciousness of the universe, want for you and everyone on Earth to be with, to end up with. Okay, there's a specific soul, not multiple, one soul that you watching and everyone watching this video is meant to marry. That, not physically, he's saying, right? The guides and angels and God are saying, but you're already spiritually married to. Okay. Now there's a big difference between spiritual marriage, which is what the twin soul connection is per God, and regular human marriage. Now God's goal in this next chapter, we can say, of life here on Earth is his plan is to align those two concepts. Okay. Align the human definition of what it means to be married physically with someone, right, for the rest of our life here on Earth, and with spiritual marriage, which is his way of saying what I'm saying the twin soul is, right? The twin soul is two higher or one higher self, two human bodies. Your souls, right, are intertwined or are together because they lead back to the same source. That's the biggest thing, firstly, to know about the twin soul connection. This is not the twin flame connection, by the way. I have a whole video explaining the differences between the twin flame and the twin soul. And many of you watching this will actually realize that the person you were referring to as the twin flame, or maybe even some of you referring to as the twin soul, is actually the twin flame, or just not not the person God wants you with. And I'll explain that in this video so you have that clarity. Okay. So the twin soul and God's spiritual marriage, what God is talking about is you already connected with, you already sharing the same higher self with someone on this earth at this time, right? At the time of this video. That's your twin soul. That's the person God wants you to marry with, be married with, okay? Physically marry with. Okay, so right now is a time on earth where we're all in preparation for either meeting or being together with that person. And the only way, here's the next question we'll answer, you'll know if that's the case, is if you've met your twin soul. And here's the way to know that it's your twin soul. We'll answer the third question very quickly. If when you meet your twin soul, you immediately realize that you are one, okay, that you are one with this person, and that your oneness is the same source as God itself, okay, God itself. And by the way, when I channel, I talk about him. That's the consciousness of God. That's the masculine part of God. But there's also the feminine part of God because God is everything. So when I say he, I'm talking to about the consciousness, not the other parts of God. Okay, so God, the consciousness of the universe, right? That this person and you, the oneness of your soul that you can sense within this person leads you to be in direct contact with God, which is the consciousness of the universe. Okay. And makes up everything that the universe is, was, and ever will be. You are both ready for and directly shoved into that energy. Okay. In fact, when I met my twin soul a couple years ago, that was the first time I really experienced God for what it is. Not like from the religious text or things like that, which is my only experience of God before that. But actually, like the consciousness, the voice of God came through from and because of that connection, because we are one, right? And I should say that to differentiate this, I was definitely part of and like had the twin flame experience. And what that experience was a very different soul connection, where that soul connection is meant to help you, and it helped me to move forward into my work, right? Like to stimulate a profound spiritual growth and awareness in the 5D. Okay. So you start to train and you start to learn like how the 5D works and all this, and then also push me forward into my soul mission. It's also around the same time I started, doing tarot, as after me and that person separated for life. And that was the twin flame connection. Okay. And it is here to help you grow and teach you a lot about yourself and move you forward into your mission, but is never and has never been God's plan for you to marry that person, the twin flame, because God wants you to be with your twin soul. Okay. And I should say also that in that twin flame connection, God was not present in that twin flame connection. It was me more so growing into my awareness of what God is and my ego, parts of my ego, and healing and finding different parts of myself. But I just didn't know a God. Like God wasn't in my life at all, through that connection, because it wasn't meant to be. It was meant to lead me closer to God eventually, right? But not through that relationship or that connection, if that makes sense. I should also say, was there a very strong 5D connection with that person, that twin flame person? Yes, there was. That connection taught me the very basics of what, the 5D and energetic healing, and like being aware that there's another realm, and angels and guides and even demons at that time. Like I was all expanding my awareness and slowly encapsulating everything I'd be using to teach you all today through that twin flame connection. Okay. But that never meant, and it still doesn't mean, that was meant to be the person I'm married to or meant to marry. That's very different from the twin soul connection. So I want to say that for any of you who find yourself in a connection like that, where it's a very strong spiritual connection, you're learning a lot, and it's a very 5D connected connection or energy, that doesn't mean that you're necessarily meant to be that's your person, right? That you're spiritually married to that person, or that God wants you with that person. That just means that it was meant for a season for your life, and for meant to teach you and show you many things about yourself. But that does not mean that it's God's person that is for you to marry. And the way you know the difference is that God will tell you. Like God will literally tell you, whether you're together with your twin soul or not, like this is your person. You're going to marry this person. This person's going to marry you. And God will be very clear about it. Like there will be no ambiguity. And I'll say this, that the twin flame connection, which to my knowledge, often always comes before the twin soul connection if it's necessary to help someone grow, okay, to be prepared to handle the twin soul connection. I don't think it always has to be a prerequisite, but for many, many of my clients, it is. And for myself, it was too. It gets you ready for that, right? It gets you ready to be able to handle, being in contact with God, right? And being able to discern clarity within yourself and the world, and also go through the ups and downs that the twin soul journey has within it. Okay, in the union, the road to union, right? The road to marriage that we're all seeking. So yeah, I wanted to share this so that you all know that it's not just in your heads. It's not just fake. It's a very real thing. If you trust in me as a human and all my channelings I've done on this channel, or maybe it's your first time watching, go check out some work, some channelings, and see if you trust where it's coming from. Like, I just want to let you know it's 100% real. You're not crazy. You're not going insane. The twin flame as well as the twin soul connection are both very real things. They're not made up. They're not fantasies. They're not legends. Okay. They're actual, real, energetic, different energies and situations, right, that many people on earth are going through and going to go through and have gone through, but mostly going to go through on this earth. And that's why I'm called here on this channel to be a guide for it, because and many of you too, or many of you are watching that are doing that, because um God put me through a lot of this first, like early on in life, so that I could be a guide for the rest of people who are going to go through it. Many of you are also in that position too. And if you're going through this situation, it's because you're meant to, in some way, use it as part of your work on here on Earth. Okay, those of you who are experiencing the different types of relationships, right? The soulmate, the twin flame, the twin soul, and you're trying to learn the difference between them and differentiate them, and all those types of things. So my job is to make it really practical, right? I do have Virgo in my 12th house. Okay, Jupiter and Virgo in the 12th. So it's kind of like I'm here to define some of these things and to share, like, I'm a channeler first, but I deal with the higher realms all the time, daily basis, right? That's my job for what I do for a living. But I'm also a human, and I've also gone through this and going through this, and so I want to share with you that from that perspective, that it's real, and also this is how you know, okay, whether you're with your twin soul or your twin flame or your soulmate, and what you want moving forward. And my message for you is very simple today, is that God wants you with your twin soul. Like, that's like, it's not that just God wants you. Like, what does that even mean, right? Like, God is not a human, okay? Let's not anthropomorphize God. Like, God is the consciousness of the universe. He's the consciousness of God is basically the highest good, the highest plan of all that wants to happen, happening through us humans here on earth. That's what God is, and that's what God wants. So what that means is, when I say God wants, it just means that God, the highest good of the universe, highest energy of the universe, the energy that knows what is meant to happen or can happen for the highest good for all of us, that energy wants to get you with your spiritual marriage, like this, your spiritual partner, your true partner, not just the one in the 5D or your twin flame, but your true partner, as quickly as possible. That's my message. He wants you to be with that person as quickly as humanly possible. Worse, even more intensely than you. Okay, those of you who wonder, and I'm just from God himself, like, I want you with your person worse than you want, even more intensive than you want to be with your person. Like, that's how badly God really wants you to be with your person, to be united with your person. So rest assured, he is moving things as fast as he possibly can within you, within the universe, within your person, within everything that has to happen to bring you and that person together. Okay. And what he wanted me to tell you is that process is timeless. And the reason that process is timeless is because we all have a different rate of work. We all have a different rate of, like, doing what we need to do to move forward into our life destiny and what we're meant to be and do. And God is basically here saying to tell you, like, he's never going to stop wanting you to be with your twin soul. He's always going to push you in that direction. Like, he's always going to give you what you need to try to get you together with the person he wants you with. And you will never be fully, like, fulfilled inside until you're with your person. Okay. And I don't mean that in a bad way, as if, like, you're going to be, like, miserable, if you don't end up with your person. Like, it's not about that. You can still find your peace. Okay. Like, there's a difference between peace and fulfillment. Okay. I want to bring that to everyone's attention in this word today. Peace, you can have peace at any time, because there is peace in God and God's plan and you and where you're at, and you can enjoy that and know that everything's perfectly fine right now as it is, in, like, literally is perfect the way it is, right? That's peace, knowing that. Fulfillment is knowing you did what you needed to do. You accomplished what you came here to do and wanted to experience. That's fulfillment. And you can have peace without fulfillment. Okay? And you can have fulfillment and peace, which is ultimately the best thing in the world. Peace and fulfillment, right? Fulfillment for those of you watching this, will come only after you have done all the work necessary, okay, everything you needed to do to actually unite with your twin soul, with your spiritual marriage in this lifetime. And if you don't get it in this lifetime, then in the next lifetime, right? Like your soul, and what I'm being shown is like we're on a mission collectively to be with that person, to unite with that person as it is in heaven, the 5D, right? In the 3D, on the earth. Okay. So I want to tell you that, and maybe some of you are feeling a little down or hopeless. I use the tarot as a presentation sometimes, when I'm speaking to God, just to help give a visual aspect, right? Not reading the cards directly, but God, giving a message, and the tarot saying, hey, this is what he means. Those of you who are like down and out or worried about your situations, like, trust me, God wants you with your person even more badly, like even worse than you want to be with your person. Okay. That's God's only desire at this time. Really, truly, like on the earth. And he's never going to stop pushing you to be with your person. He's never going to stop working with you, working with your person, working with the earth to allow that to happen ever. Like he's never going to give up on you. God is never going to give up on you. God is never going to give up on that mission. You need to know that. But it may take time, right? It may take time so that all the moving pieces and everything that needs to be adjusted within the world, within you, within your person happens, okay? So that you can be with that person, so you can be happy with that person, okay, for the rest of your life and even beyond that, okay? So your twin souls can be united, right? Twin souls. It's really the same soul, to be honest. It's the same higher self. That's why it's twin souls. Same higher self. Okay, coming from the same higher self, two different bodies, twin soul. And that term was channeled to me, by the way. That was not just branding. I make this up to be a brand. That was channeled to me. And he also calls it the spiritual union, the spiritual marriage. Okay. And he wants to align spiritual marriage on earth with physical marriage. So everyone who is spiritually married, whether you know that person now or you don't, actually ends up physically marrying that person as well in this lifetime. Okay. So anyways, if you're feeling down and out or confused or lost about your situation, just know that God is not giving up on you. God is going to help you find and be with your person as soon as possible. He's never going to stop. That's his only goal right now, to bring you and your person together, no matter what he has to do that, no matter who he has to move away or move around in your life, or do in your life, or show you in your life. Like he's going to do it so that he can bring you together with your person and so that you can be fulfilled. And the other message actually that I was going to share was that if you are still feeling unfulfilled, okay, what I was saying before is like, God has shown me you're not meant to feel fulfilled until you are with your person, because that is a part of your soul intention in this lifetime. Does that make sense? Like you can find peace, you can find like a different type of fulfillment within your own self, about like being proud of yourself and working hard and being independent, all the things that you self want to accomplish. But on a deeper level, your soul knows that you want and you are meant to be with your person. Like, and until that happens, you are never going to be at rest. Okay. Like if you were with the wrong person, or you are with the wrong person, and you feel that unfulfillment inside, right? It's because of that. It's because, something's off there, and you haven't, either you haven't met the right person, or there's more work to be done before you and that person can have your relationship. All right. But that's what I'm being shown, is that for this group I'm talking to, it's all about that. Like there's all this other work to be done, but your true life soul fulfillment comes from that. It comes from union. It comes from, we accomplished a physical relationship, a physical marriage, in accordance with our spiritual marriage in this lifetime. And no matter what we do or what we pursue or be or have, it's like we're not going to feel that deeper level of fulfillment or accomplishment until that happens. And so the message really simply is that, don't give up. Don't give up on it. Don't give up on your path. If you know your person, don't give up on your person. Also, I would say, as a precautionary, do not, don't just have tunnel vision and block yourself out to God's guidance and your angels and guidance for you. Like, remember what I said, God is going to do anything he needs to do to show you, to shift you in alignment so that you can be with your person. But if we as we as people have blinders on and we're like stubborn about it, we're like, no, that's going to be my person no matter what, or, I need to be this instead of that. And it's like, that's just like, you're blocking God's guidance out for you. That's just delaying it. That's just stalling it out. Right. So I would say, be determined, don't give up, but also be open to God's redirection for you. Okay. Like if God is saying to you, well, no, I need you to let this person go and move forward, or this is your person, keep going, or, just listen, be open to his direction. Don't predetermine anything, because I only say this not to worry you, but because I know I'm talking to a lot of people, right, who, I do readings a lot. I have so many readings to do. So thank you all for your support. But, it's like 50% of them. 50% of them, it's like the twin flame connection, or it's not the twin soul, right? And I think it's a big challenge that the earth and this whole God's relationships, God's marriage is happening, is like people get caught up in the twin flame for very good reasons, right? But then it's almost like that gets in the way, right, of sometimes us moving into, more of our twin soul connection. And so the only way to work with that is just to be open to God and your angels redirecting your path and not putting blinders on, right? Not ignoring signs and messages from the universe, right? Or not just only listening to things that is going to like confirm this false reality within you. Like, don't do that. Okay. Like, the confirmation bias, like you really want something to be true, so you only look up information that's going to cause it to be true. That happens on the twin flame journey all the fucking excuse my French, all the time. Okay. Seriously. So you have to, if you really want to know the truth, you have to be open to these messages. You have to be open to God. You have to be open to your angels and guides, and follow your gut intuition on things. Okay. That's the most important thing I want to share with you. And that's required. And it's just speaking from someone who has and is going through this journey. Okay. Alongside and with all of you. Okay. That's how I'm able to channel for it. I'm channeling, but everything I'm able to channel is because of this journey. It's because of the twin soul journey, the journey to union, right? That's what we all talk about. Along the way, you become what you're meant to become. Does that make sense? Along the way to union, you become what you're meant to become. That's what it does. It sharpens you up into becoming the person, the leader, the husband or wife, the coach, the guide, everything that you're meant to be, you're going to become it along this journey. So keep going. Don't give up. Don't lose hope. This is just a simple reminder / message that it's very real. And the end result, here's the paradox, is that on one level, it's about union, right? It's like, that's what your soul is saying. I want to experience that in this lifetime. That's what God is saying. Your intention on a soul level is to be with your person in this lifetime forever and have a tangible relationship with your person, spiritually as well as physically. That's the goal. All right. So on one level, it's about that. But that's on the whole other level, it's not even about that, because it's about who you are becoming along the way. Okay. To be aligned with that reality, to be aligned with that energy. And that's what my channel's all about, really, because you're seeing in real time, this is my journey, part of my journey to becoming who I need to become to be together with my person. okay, in this lifetime, which I'm sure you'll all see very soon what that is. All right. I have faith. I have faith that that will happen, you know. At some point, if God is laughing up above, because he does. He's like, yeah, no, we'll have to prove to the audience, right, that this is a real thing. Well, we're going to have to use you as proof. Some of you are like, all right, I'll believe it's real when Brandon unites with his twin soul. Okay, great. Fair enough. I'll take you up on that bet. Okay. So anyways, I'm serious, but also, jokes aside, you're seeing, right? This is part of my journey to becoming the soul, becoming the person I need to be to align and unite with my twin soul in this lifetime. And that's where we're all at. So and this is what this channel is about, apparently, is like helping us all hear and know the messages that will help us align to that frequency so that we can unite with their person. But again, even though it's about that, it's really more so about the work of aligning yourself to that frequency, to that way of being, right? To that person, to that energy that is in your highest good, okay? Is for your soul's highest good, So you are the best that you can be. And also through and because of that journey and that work that you're doing, being the best version of you that you can be, the most aligned version of you and what your path naturally wants you to be. And then subsequently, as you continue to work on that with blind faith and say, this will lead me to my person, to being in union, boom, that's when union happens. And it's like, then before you even realize it, when you least expect it, that is when you also then receive the thing your soul is really craving to experience in this lifetime the most. Okay. I love you all. Thanks so much for tapping in. This was just the message I needed to. I asked God, what is it my audience wants to hear or needs to hear and wants to hear tonight? And it was a little bit about, what my personal take is and my experience in the twin soul connection, and just sharing a little bit about it and how it's real, and a reminder that what we're all doing, what this channel is all about and what we're going for, and what you can expect to happen to you should you keep following, your own guidance, God's guidance, right? And if you want to follow this channel's guidance for you and your twin soul journey. I hope it helps. Thanks so much for watching, tapping in. I love you all, and I'll see you on the next one. Bye for now.